On Loose Lines live, well, not quite. Daniel Hibbert, hello.
Hello, Paul.
Bit of a pre-record. Anyone wondering, I'm going to be live in a minute, but we're out here at, Lord's Raceway Park, I suppose. I'm going to go next door and catch up with Eric Hendricks as well in a minute. But we're here at the Greyhounds. Big weekend, and we must welcome our man in the middle, Charlton Hindle. Hello to you, Charlton.
Hello, Paul. Thanks for having me.
You are the man in charge here at Bendigo. And firstly, how's the track going to hold up? Because we've had a fair bit of rain here today in Bendigo.
We have. Mick and the team have done awesome jobs, so yeah, it'll hold up fine and it'll be a great day of racing tonight.
The main reason we're here, start of a really big carnival, your Cup Carnival, Battlers Cup. There's a lot of good racing going on. Firstly, tonight, Daniel, it's Battlers Cup. How does this work?
Well, this is probably one of the best concepts that we have in greyhound racing in a sense, because this is not for the elite. This is for the bottom. And when I say bottom, these are probably the lowest ranked greyhounds that we've got racing around. And they get to race for, I know it's $5,000 in the final. So, I mean, it doesn't sound like a lot, but for these greyhounds, that's a fair chunk of money that they can actually race for. So we've got 12 heats, so a full card of racing. So basically they had 100 noms for this series alone. And the fastest 8 will go through to the final. So obviously 4 winners will actually miss out on the final, but they'll go through to the consolation, and there's still good prize money in that as well.
That in itself is amazing, isn't it? The four people are going to come out, 4 dogs are going to come out here, win, and not make the final.
Yeah, look, that's just the standard of competition that we've got here. Like, to get so many noms and to have the 12 heats, that's what we're aiming for, and unfortunately that's how it works sometimes. 4 miss out.
How long has this been running for?
This is its 3rd year, so yeah, 3rd year along with the Cup Carnival, so yeah, it'd be good.
A little bit of a brainchild, I think, of one Troy Harley, who, I will say, I said about coming here and doing the interview, and he said a bit too wet for him. He's got to stay inside by the heater.
Fair weather man is obviously.
He's a fair weather man, but it was one of his brainchilds, wasn't it?
Yeah, so he came up with this concept, 3 years ago and started running it, and we're happy to keep it going because it's such a popular event and it runs so well with our Cup Carnival as well. So
the participants, what's the feedback from them?
Love it. They love it. Like, as Dan touched on before, we had 108 nominations for an event like this. It's it's unheard of. So it's great. We're always going to keep running it because it's such a great concept.
Dan, you're making a name for yourself calling the Greyhounds. What did I hear? The Meadows the other day. You're branching out. Ronnie Hawkswell won't be happy with you at all, but you are branching out a little bit. You rise to the occasions. Does the heats tonight, does that do you rise for that? Because this might be, they're battlers.
This is a really good meeting. From a wagering perspective, it's a nightmare. It is seriously a nightmare because a lot of these have got pretty average form, and it's really hard to draw a line. There's probably 2 on the card that I'm pretty confident will go close, but other than that, they're dead set raffles. And I mean, most of the participants will come here today thinking, we'll just see what happens, because they can't be confident. These greyhounds have all had at least 10 starts. And they've obviously all won at least one race, but the form is very difficult to assess.
I'm a novice of a lot of these things, but, like a man like yourself getting entrenched. Firstly, how long have you been the number 1 man here at Bendigo?
Just under 12 months now, so started in November 2021, so yeah.
You enjoying it?
Yeah, loving it, mate. So yeah, it's awesome getting to know all the people, how the club works, and all the greyhound racing as well. It's fantastic.
Yeah, like sometimes you can see a job from the outside and think, that'd be a good job, and you step into it and it's not all it's cracked up to be, but you're always pretty happy about it.
Yeah, as I said, like all the events that we run here, there's 3 carnivals that we, our main 3 carnivals that we run, as well as like fundraising events for charities as well, which I really enjoy. So the frequency racing 2 to 3 times a week I enjoy as well, keeps me busy, and just love the industry.
Right, Bendigo Cup, we've got the Battlers Cup, Bendigo Cup is, where am I going?
The heats are on Sunday.
Sunday, but the finals are following Friday. So Friday week, 10 days' time is the final. What else have we got? We've got the heats for the Bendigo Cup, and you said that the fields will be out about 2 o'clock or just after this. We're recording this just prior to 2 o'clock because someone's got to go and do his media commitments upstairs. But what else do we have on the card leading right into the Bendigo Cup?
Yep, so we've got a maiden series, so that runs Friday night. They're the heats for that, and the final will be run on Cup night as well as a Spring Cup, the Hip Pocket Spring Cup, so that'll be run on the Sunday as well. So heats, when are the heats? Heats are on Friday.
Friday, yeah.
Heats are on Friday, and the finals on Friday the 14th as well.
So a lot of heat racing. It's interesting, we do harness. Heat racing gets frowned upon and almost gone now, whereas in the greyhounds, people love it, and it's the norm. It's the only way you can get into some of these really high-staked races.
Yeah, well, on Sunday, the heats for the Cup, they're just generally great racing because we got 70 dogs trying to buy a spot for that $50,000 race. So the talent of dogs and quality dogs that'll be here is going to be fantastic. So Sunday, I'm really looking forward to seeing the best of the best show what they got.
I might even come out here and do a bit of roving Campbell's comments. We'll just see how are you calling Sunday as well?
No, I'm not.
You have Sundays off, don't you?
I didn't get the gig, so but I will be here on final night. So
yeah, now we've got to make sure we give a bit of a pump up to Troy Harley. As I said, he's sitting back in the office with the heater, probably watching this right now. He doesn't do a lot anymore, does he? We don't see him much.
He's all behind the scenes kind of guy now at the moment, so it's good to have him on board, and still his knowledge is you need it, so it's fantastic.
He's actually organised though. We're going to be doing a live YouTube day or night with the Cup. We tried it last year on Facebook, but this year we're going to go to YouTube. So effectively what we want people to do is go to the Bendigo Greyhound YouTube page and hit like and subscribe to be able to keep up to date with that.
Yeah, exactly right. So if for whatever reason you can't make it here on the night, definitely jump onto our YouTube page, click like and subscribe, and we'll focus on that platform going forward. So it's a great way to keep in contact with the community that way.
And Daniel, you're going to be doing a couple of previews. You don't know this yet, but you're doing one with him tomorrow night.
Am I?
Yeah, you are.
Okay, I am. Okay,
yeah.
I am.
Tomorrow, I think you're going to do a bit of a preview coming up as well. So get on the front foot, and that's what I like about Bendigo. Even though Troy has stepped away, you're in the same thing. Push forward and punch forward and the likes. I will say one other thing too. Thank you very much. The Campbell's comments races, a little bit of promotion. I can't help. I get a few of the greyhound guys log on from time to time. Clint Anderson and the likes will tune in, so I really do appreciate it. I love doing stuff with you guys. Don't do as much as I used to, but I definitely really appreciate it.
Yeah, no, thanks for all the stuff you do behind the scenes, Paul. Really appreciate it, and love to support you around the club.
Very good, Charlton. I'll let you go for 2 seconds. Will might wax on for two more minutes, but
how long have I got? I don't even know how long I've got.
You've got a commitment. Yeah, you got 2 minutes. That's about it. Vic Cup this weekend, huge meeting.
It is. It's a massive meeting, and the way the draws fall, I just had a quick look before. It's
interesting now, isn't it?
You've got. I mean, people think, barriers be all and end all. Well, you've got the good couple have drawn the decent gates, but they're not going to want to go back. Like they're going to want to be on the speed. So the way it maps, I reckon there could be something coming from the back that might get over the top here. I'd probably be shying away from the favourites because I think there might be a fair bit of tempo on. Vic
Derby, excitement level?
Look, as I said last week, I don't know what it is about Captain Ravishing, but there's something about him that makes me think that this guy's probably one of the, talent-wise, probably the most impressive horses I've ever seen from a talent perspective. He's still got a lot to learn. Like if it ever clicks, I mean, God help us, he'll just win everything. But he's got more talent than I've got in my little toe, and he is, I think he'll win, but he'll need to do everything right. Otherwise, he is a bit vulnerable.
It's a very, very good card. There's some great 3-year-old trot races on. But what it is showcasing is this end of the season, through the winter months when we had nothing to talk about, you worry about it a little bit.
Yeah.
I know our New Zealand counterparts went through this. Man, it just gets hot now.
Yeah, it's full. It's like it's full on now, and in every code really.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
But I'm standing here shaking like you wouldn't believe. It's freezing here at the moment. But
middle of October. What about
our
our mate in New Zealand? He's telling me it's snowing.
Yeah, it's snowing
at his house in 2 degrees in the middle of October in Christchurch.
Mad.
I mean, that is unbelievable.
But no, it's a massive card, and looking forward to it.
Nearly showcases though as an organisation racing. So greyhounds, harness, and the thoroughbreds. If we work together, what a super product we could have, because we could have feature racing on 3 days a week. While there's no AFL, cricket, is here, there, everywhere.
This is from a sport perspective. AFL and cricket, you're in a dead patch, and like this is the time to shine, and we've clearly shown that we can do it. With the races we've got.
Absolutely, mate. I appreciate it. It is wet. These guys up here are looking at them thinking,
they're
what
laughing
are these wallies doing out here? How good does that semaphore board look? I just love it. That's why we came down here and set up. They do a great job. Good to see you got the Melbourne hat on, mate.
Yeah, still got it on. Still got it on. I have to take it off tomorrow when I go to Sandown. I've got another one I've got to wear. So,
anything else we've got to cover off on very quickly? Actually, you wanted to bring one up last week, and we didn't bring it up. The roads.
I really haven't got time, but I really PO'd at roads around the place. They are in terrible condition. So if anyone has any power anywhere that's watching this, fix the damn roads because I'm getting sick of it.
All right, Daniel.
I'm
going to throw back to Paul in the at the studio, and thank you very much, mate.
See ya.
All right, thank you very much, Daniel Hibbert, for joining me, and welcome to everyone for On Loose Lines tonight. I just got to get rid of, always go the wrong way, that one. We'll get rid of him, and he'll be out of there, that's for sure, but we'll get this one up here, Bird Dog, because we want people's comments to be getting in there. Dot G joins me again. Dot, thank you very much for joining you, and it is the number one talkback harness racing show in Australia, New Zealand, England, if Stuart Tanner is there. I haven't had Stuart on for a couple of times. I'm not sure if he's off doing something else. And also, I think we get India, Pakistan, and a few other places going forward. So, yeah, so there is plenty going on. Hopefully you're staying dry. Hopefully you're having a good day. I'm actually going to see, I don't know if this is going to work or not, but I'm going to just try and bring something up. If you are having a bad day, this was what happened, I believe it was at Canterbury in New Zealand. I can't actually do anything else other than that. But they got the ambulance bogged before the races. But there was strappers, there was stable hands, there was everyone there determined to get the ambulance out of the bog so they could continue the meeting on. So if you think it's wet, you're embarrassed. Imagine being the poor driver of that ambulance there, and have a look at all hands on deck. He was well and truly bogged. They couldn't use a tractor because if they used a tractor to get him out, they would have ripped the ground and they would have been in all sorts of trouble. But I know they eventually got him moving, and they got him up and going, and that's for sure. Big show. I would say thank you to Daniel Hibbert. He's actually at Bendigo tonight, calling the trots there. Please get involved with the conversations. That's how this show works. I've got an inaugural, David Miles, and a mic'd up, something a little bit more. You would have seen the sulky rides the last couple of days that we've been able to do. Well, Dave gave a fair bit more insight that I didn't think was fair to be going over to the harness or the trots pages. So he looks after my sponsors, namely Woodlands, but I must say a big thank you to all of my sponsors in Harasta Trotters and everyone. So we've got Dave Miles coming on. Eric Hendricks is going to join me as well for a pre-record that I did a little bit earlier as well. And I've also got Joe Pace ready to come on. Don't forget Harasta Trotters with their competition. Got myself all out of whack here just for 1 second, but we will get the picture up right now. So there's a competition. Closes Friday. Will be drawn. This is going to be drawn at Melton, hopefully about 6 o'clock. Haven't had a confirmational email on that yet. Fiona Mellon, the new CEO of HRV, is going to draw it. We'll be live on Facebook. Campbell's comments will be. So tune in, hopefully 6 o'clock on the Saturday night, and get involved in that. That there, because I want people to be able to make sure they get involved with it and don't miss out. That's the Harasta Trotters. That is, of course, is on a street there, who got out of quarantine today. So yeah, so just make sure you get involved in that. Now I have a very, very special guest, but before I get myself too round up, I better make sure he's there. Joe Pace, are you there, mate?
Hello, Paul. How are you?
I got to do something different. So it'll only work that way. Joe is there, so yeah. I've got Stacey Towers on there as well. But hello to you, mate. Thank you very much for joining me. And how wet is it in sunny Melton?
Oh, Jesus, Paul, I'm sick of rain, yeah. I just had enough of it, and I'm sick of wearing gumboots.
It is terrible. I don't know if you saw that footage I had there at the start, but we all think we're having a bad time, and going from there. Stacey Towers, I can't influence who wins that. I'm sorry, Stace, but yes, I know there's a few people wanting to win that the free service. So yeah, so Stacey Towers is saying me, I want to win that. So which is what it's all in regards to. We want people to get involved in it. That's for sure, mate. Firstly, thank you for joining me. First time on Campbell's Comments.
Yes, Paul, it is. Think I've always text you and give you a bit of flake, but the shoe's on the other foot now.
It is indeed. G's over it as well. There's plenty of other people getting involved, and yeah, that's all right. I like giving cheek. I like people to get interacting and getting involved in the show, mate. And it's what makes this show tick, if you like. It's the only way the show does tick if people don't get involved. But You got a pretty big hand in Saturday night. You got a bit of a nervous wait, if you like, as well for Saturday night. You've got to wait to see whether you get a run on with Supreme Dominator. Firstly, are you excited about having a runner in the Victoria Cup?
I am, Paul. What we've got to look, and we've got to be sort of a little bit realistic, is that it's all good to have a run in the Victoria Cup, and it's every trainer's dream to have a runner in it. But it's not going to be an easy task for him. We've got quality horses, Spencer Vigo and Better Eclipse, and
On loose lines,
it's a small fish,
well,
and
not quite. Daniel
it's
Hibbert,
a little bit
hello.
easier
Paul.
than the Victoria
With a
Cup.
pre-record.
So,
Anyone wondering?
I've always sort of learned try to go for the small fish before you
Park,
go
for
for
go next door and catch up
the
with
bigger
Eric
one.
Hendricks as well in a minute. But we're here at the Greyhounds. Another great Joe. Big week. I'm watching it. Welcome our man in the middle, Charles Hindle. Hello to you, Charles.
But then there's always the romance.
You are the man in charge here at Bendigo. And firstly, how's the track going to hold up? Because we've had a fair bit of rain here today in Bendigo.
We have. Nick and the team have done an awesome job. So yeah.
Oh yeah, Paul. Look,
it'll be a great day of racing
and I'm
tonight.
not saying that he's not
the main reason we're here. Start of a really big carnival, your Cup Carnival.
He's
Battlers
quite
Cup.
placed quite well.
Good racing going on. Firstly tonight,
I don't know
Battlers
if
Cup.
it's
How
just
does
me
this
being a
work?
little bit nervous or
this
what,
is probably one of the best concepts.
There's a lot of good horses to compete against,
and in a sense, because this is not for the elite. This is for the bottom. And when I say bottom, these are probably the lowest round.
We'll just tackle it then, eh?
Yeah. Sorry, mate. I had a few little things going on. There might have been some people talking over the top of you. I do apologise for that. I was trying to set it up going from there. There's a lot gets spoken about. Copy that, but I mean it's a big field. Anything can happen with any of these horses. You know that as well. So I don't think it's all solely on Copy Hat's shoulders, is it? Copy That's shoulders.
Oh no, look. The thing is, you've virtually got stars of stars in the Victoria Cup and seasoned horses. And I know with Supreme Dominator, if the speed's on, he'll thrive on the speed. And with a cold sit, he can, as we've seen plenty of times, he can outsprint any horse, as he done with Amazing Dream when he won the Cranbourne Cup. So. Look, I'm not saying that he's not out of it, but it's going to be a hard task for every horse. So.
No, it is indeed, mate, and it's a lot of fun. But the build up, what is the build up like in Melton for races like this with these big meetings? Does the town get behind it?
Yeah, it does, especially Melton. You get a lot of the locals come out, and unfortunately, I don't think the weather's going to be too great on Saturday. So I'm just hoping that the rain holds off and we can get as many people as we can get to the track and see a wonderful race.
No, indeed. I apologise for all of that, but I have got everything sorted out now. I thought I had a scene set up, but that is the field. Mate, you play a pretty strong... Well, you don't play a strong hand, but you've got a great hand in what is a huge program. Down by the seaside, as I got all my Woodlands gear on because it is down by the seaside Victoria Derby week, and you'll see that with David Miles in a minute. He's rather loose on his mic'd up, but just a little sip gets a great draw, much better draw than last week, mate. You must be wrapped with the draw.
I am, Paul. Look, he's a very nice horse going forward. I reckon with another 8 months to a year underneath his belt, he's gonna match it with a lot of our top horses going around. He's got everything what you want in a horse. He's got toughness. He's got speed. He's quite versatile, Paul. He's a horse that relaxes. He loves the 2,700 metres where a lot of the Kiwis do. He's just one of those horses, push-button horses, where he's just a dream to drive.
Yeah. What do you... Like, I hate asking people. This is a show about finding out about people, but what do you do from barrier 2? Just hold your ground and see what happens outside of you in this sort of company, Joe? Or like, do you give James a lot of I suppose driving instructions in a race like this, where, you know, no disrespect to your horse, you're going to be closer to 100 to 1 than you are favourite. Do you go in with a lot of plans?
No, Paul. Look, James, he knows what he's doing. He's driven the horse numerous times, and I just leave it up to James. And James might tell me what I think, and vice versa. We sort of bounce off each other, bounce ideas off each other, and at the end, I just leave it up to James because I know within the first 50 to 100 metres, things change 10 times within 100 metres. Yeah, so. Look, if we got the barrier there, we don't really need to bust them out. We're going to be one off the pegs and running up handy. So whatever happens within the first corner, I don't think there's going to be a lot of moves. Captain Ravishing, he might come out 3 deep and sort of sit in the breeze early to be up there forward. And thinking we'll just, pray to the gods that they take each other on and go from there.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, we've got horse racing at Bendigo, and my wife is constantly ringing me, Joe, so I reckon I'll...
You better answer it.
I think I better answer it. Very, very quickly, Harry Stamper, you must be wrapped in getting barrier 1.
Yeah. Look, he's a nice horse too, Paul. We've seen what he can do. He's another horse where just push button. It's got plenty of speed. Lets down very fast. Barrier 1's going to be a big plus for him. All we got to do is just keep his legs there and hopefully Plymouth Chubb shows the gate speed that he's done at Kilmore and we can have a nice sit on him.
No, absolutely. It's a really, really good field, that. Courage Stride, Iron Love, Plymouth Chubb, More Wanted, Cravache Dior, Constant and Kai Valley Piero. Great field of really, really nice trotters. So, mate, thank you very much. I'm going to actually have to throw to this Dave Miles. I apologise for cutting it short. Quickly, how many horses do you work, Joe?
At the present moment, I've got 13.
13 in work, plus some mares getting served, plus getting bored out.
Yes.
Plus getting bored out. You got plenty going on, haven't you?
Plenty. There's plenty on my plate, Paul. Mate, I'm always a busy man.
You are indeed, mate. I must say thank you very much for joining me. I better just find out, make sure everything's okay. We have got a runner at Bendigo tonight. It may be getting washed out, Bendigo, though. It is pretty wet. That might be what she's ringing me for. I'm not sure. I will say it is the Down by the Seaside Victorian Derby week, and Woodlands are great sponsors of Campbell's Comments and have been for a long, long time. I gave David Miles a microphone and a camera to go out and do a driver thing for HRV. Tell you what, Joe, he's not bad. He's a good PR man for me, that's for sure, because he done some work. This is a full version of what he did. Sit back and enjoy it. It goes for about 7 minutes, everyone, but it's a lot of fun. Joe, good luck on the weekend, mate.
No worries. Thank you, Paul. Thank you for having me on.
Thank you, mate.
See you, mate. Catch you, buddy.
Welcome to Milesy on the mic, courtesy of Campbell's Comments and their major sponsor, Woodland Stud, home of Bettor's Delight, American Ideal, and Down by the Seaside. In Down by the Seaside Victoria Derby week. Looking forward to seeing Captain Ravishing and Leap to Fame go at it again. We've got Roll with a Lady. Roll with Joe Philly. She's won one from about 5 or 6. She's an angry little hooer. She gets quite aggressive going to the gate, so today we're here for a quiet trial, drawn barrier 5. We hope to just get her back off the arm, poke around. We've had a very quiet preliminary, just kept to ourselves. And we're in the lucky last trial of the day. Looks like more rain coming, which we don't need. Roll with the Ladies had a few starts, and then she had a little break. She had a little paddock mess up, and spent a couple of weeks at the Water Walker. She's had a couple of quiet hobbles at home, and we'll have a quiet trial today. And depending on how fast we go here and the times they run, is whether we head back to the races in 7 to 10 days or 14 to 20 days, something like that. But we'll just see how we go. But she's actually quite good today. She's actually relaxed here quite good. So that's all good signs. Oh, Courtney's chirping. Everyone's chirping. How are we, guys?
Yeah, we're good.
No swearing. We're live. Not quite sure what we're trialling against today, but they should be about 50 raters. We've got Clinton Welsh, multiple Group 1 winning driver Clinton Welsh. Driver of the famous Tucumcari. Veteran driver, I said famous Group 1 winning driver, and now we've got the state's leading driver, James Herbertson. Back at Melton Trials. Wow. And had an initiation too, been handled. Has been handled today. Johnny Caldo's the veteran driver. Are you a veteran driver, Johnny? And we're away. Easy, baby girl. Easy, baby girl. Easy, baby girl. Don't want to fight her too much. We're just going to probably stay off the gate half a length so we can get her back. Check our opposition, make sure they all look like they're nice paces, which they are. Everyone seems to be wanting to miss the gate that's tripped. Whee, baby. Good girl. Good girl. Whee, baby. Whee, baby. Whoop, just tap the wheel. Whoa, baby. 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 Definitely don't want to be in front. Definitely don't want to be in front. Whoa, baby. Whoa, baby. Whoa, baby. We had to go all the way back to last, but she came back. This will be a very slow lead time, I would imagine. Strung out in Indian file and not going very quickly at all. We'll take a guess at a lead time in about 50, I would say. And sometimes when we come to the trials we want to come for fitness, but this trial here for her, this is just about getting her to relax. Once we got our win at Shepparton out of the way, we got our bonus. She just needed to relax to become a better horse, and just wants to get her bum over and tap that wheel. I don't know if it can be picked up on the audio, but very slow quarter in 33.5. Have a look at the board on the way past. 52.3. Super slow trial. Herbie's off. We'll get trucking up on behind. She's happy to sit on his back. It's going to be a very last quick quarter, I think. And that quarter's going to be about 31.5, I think. Everybody's tracking along quite good. Greg should have plenty of petrol. Courtney's travelling really well inside me. Herbie's got plenty of horse. And just wanting to lug in a little bit. Herbie's giving a little jiggle. Just give her a little bit of rein. She's tracked up, but I don't have a lot left. She's wanting to lay in there. Herbie's got me. We're just going to run up. And Herbie's off and gone. I got Mr. Sugars though. We're just running on nicely. We just asked her a little bit at the end, but that was really good. That was really good. Just want to keep her rolling up here. So that was, we just got a little bit lugging on the last corner there where she wanted to lay in. And she just wanted to tap the inside wheel in the run, so we might just have the vet have a look at her just to see if we can't straighten her up behind. And but all in all, that was what we came here to do. Wasn't about running any times, it wasn't about fitness today. It was about trying to get her to relax, which she she did really well. All good?
Right, I am back, and I do apologise for that. And anyone wondering, everything's okay with Marie. She may have left one piece of harness behind, but she can definitely get that. I did notice that they're announcing the slot holders. In the Gig has taken my prime time night on being able to watch this. Of course, it's been streamed live now as we speak on Sky 2. So I'm sneakily just got the Sky 2 footage going there. We'll just see if we can see some of the people that get battered up. .G, Stacey Towers, good day to you, Stace, too. And Stace loves the wet. Everyone else complaining about the wet? I know Stacey loves the wet as well. Rain is here to at Mount Wallace. .G is over it. Nellie Melba, not good weather for foaling season. James is a great thinker. .G says races, and he puts horses in their best places in the races, and he'll understand the enormity of where he's at, especially in the Derby. But yeah, it's good to see him in there. This was the one that got me. Alex Hurley, you've got 4 of your 5 foals already this season, and the next one's due. Congratulations. Trying times, I'm sure, with the wet weather, but congratulations and well done to you for getting that many out. Hopefully they're all well and safe. I'll get that back to about there so people can see it. There it is right there. So Nellie's explaining that. Alex, and then .G, fingers crossed we start to get some nice weather. She's still 4 to 5 weeks away, and I think that's right. Now, the way this show works too, get involved, especially from now on. I have one more interview, got a couple of other sponsors and that to get across, but there's not a lot else driving tonight's show. So yearling seasons are not underway. Saw an interesting comment the other day from Asbar. I found it very interesting, saying that they want to see all the numbers and all the horses up on the respective websites that have been sold in the sales. We're still sort of 4 and 5 months out, and I know a lot of people are still finalising pedigree pages and confirming everything. So I just find it a little bit interesting, people like Asbars and those guys getting involved in potentially stuff that doesn't really concern them. I think Australian breeders are about looking after the breeders. So yeah, I find it interesting. But anyway, we don't have a lot that way. Of course, Nutrien are always very active from my point of view, and they've got plenty going on. But there is lots happening here. I'm just trying to see who the slot holders are when they actually come up as well. But anything else that drives people? Tell you what, anyone that's watching my feed, are you interested in who the slot holders are? Are you interested in this magical $1 million race that there's already been one of those announced? There's already one in New Zealand for my New Zealand counterparts. Now there's one in Western Australia, and here we are. All the breeders are going to be paying for this one. So it'll be interesting to see how many people are actually interested and how many people might be potentially doing what I am doing, watching with one eye on it. MEO's on there, Pat Burke's on there as well. Pat, he's keen on getting into the farming. I reckon he'd be keen on getting into the swimming pools at the minute. So, yeah. 2 by Storm inside for Alex Hurley. 1 filly and 1 waiting. Okay, Majestic Sun filly. Two gallopers. Oh, yeah, 4 of the 5. Yeah, sorry, that's fine. So, yeah, so she has 4 of the 5. I'll get onto the Nutrien girl. Yeah, you get onto the Nutrien girl, Em. Yes, now I understand what that's about. I was like, huh? But of course, yeah. So anyway, it was just one of those ones that I did see on social media the other day that was getting bandied around. So I find some of those things a little bit funny, but anyway, that's okay. I wear plenty of hats. I've got my Nutrien hat I have there, but I'm going to make tonight about Woodlands because it's Vic Derby week, and Woodlands, of course, sponsor the parade going into for all of the sales at Nutrien. So pre-parades, there'll be one at Sydney, one in Queensland, and of course one in Melbourne, of course. So where are we going to go? We'll stay with Nutrien very, very quickly. There they are. There's all the sale dates there. Sydney, 4th and 5th of March, Queensland the 11th and 12th, and Melbourne sales the 1st and 2nd. Traditionally, the sale dates are at the starts of those, but I do know that because of numbers that some of those days may just change a little bit, but that will be when the sales are on. Whether the parades are on the day before, we'll get onto that part when we get further into it. And don't forget, if you want to find out more, go to the website, nutrienequine.com.au. And when all the proofs are done and everything's done and ready to go, those yearlings will be up. But don't forget to go there. And don't forget, if you've got a yearling or if you're still thinking will you sell or won't you sell, they're still open till the 23rd of November for Bathurst, the Bathurst Gold Crown yearling sale. So make sure you get involved with those catalogues. There you are, hot off the press. MYO catalogues will be live mid to late October. And I must say on that too, when I was watching back on Loose Lines and Nutrien, we actually announced the numbers for each of those sales. It was around 140 that were going to be involved in the Nutrien sale. So in Brisbane, that is, 250 in Sydney and 300-ish in Melbourne. So plus Bathurst is still open. So, and because of those numbers, that's where some people are still leaving their options open, that they may send some to Bathurst, just working out what it is going from there. No sweat. You can't sweat in this weather, Em. I believe it's in torrential up in New South Wales too, Emmy. So I don't think you guys are enjoying it all of the rest. Just had dinner, mate. A beef and McCheddar burger. Of course, Pat Burke's a great mate of mine. We have McCheddar racing tonight. If the meeting stays ahead, that's actually how I got the TAB website up, because I was watching one of the races. So at 8 o'clock, we have McCheddar going around, and I think he's got a great chance, all going well. In there, so very clever of you. And Em's going to come back with us. Great on you, good on you, Emmy. She'll come back with the numbers for each of those sales, so we'll give Em a little bit of time and she'll come back to that. Harassed Trotters, as I said, their competition is Sunshine Stars have 150. There you are for Brisbane. So 333 in Melbourne, which is incredible, and 254 in Sydney. So you can't get any more than that. Once they're all proofed and that, the complete numbers will go up. But 150 at Sunshine Stars, 333 in Melbourne, and 254 in Sydney. So thank you very much. And of course, Harassed Trotters are great supporters of Nutrien as well, and they get involved with they have to sponsor the 2-year-old Trotter series. Em's got another one. Still people may move between the sales, and that's pretty much it. So those numbers will be roughly it. There'll just be a little bit of movement in and around. So once people work out where they want to go, 100%, they'll be good to go there. On a street, he was out of quarantine today. He'll be wondering what he got himself in for, poor old On a Street. He's not that old. He's only a young 5-year-old, but yeah, he's been released in this weather. He'd be thinking, this is a hot country here, Australia, and this is the weather they get. But please do not forget their competition. Already said it there once, but make sure that you get involved in the competition to get one of 4 Harassed Trotters service fees. On a Street, Classic Connection, News to Me or Tomoko, and with Classic Connection and News to Me, they are both on solitaire for the New Zealanders. You can get involved anywhere. Go to harassedtrotters.com.au to enter. Follow the competition. Tune into Campbell's comments. I'm going to go roughly around the 6 o'clock, but I will put a post up when I know. Just waiting on some confirmation, but I know Pat Driscoll will be there and Fiona Mellor will be there as well to get involved and get behind the winners, and it'll be announced on Campbell's comments on my Facebook page. Should not watch things and try and do it. They've actually got pre-noms, so they've put a tab odds up already, and they don't even know who's going. So anyway, good luck. All I've watched here is Andrew Kelly, Brittany Graham, and Ben Way standing in front of a big monitor. So I think tonight's show's all about the Eureka. So hopefully it is a raging success, and I'd prefer it if the breeders weren't having to pay for it, but that's okay. We won't worry too much, and good luck to them guys. Bendigo, as I said, it's been very cold and very wet, and I say to you that it's sponsored by Woodland Stud. Sweet Lou won the first race there. Sweet Miller Jean for Colin Godden and his wife there. Joshy Duggan in the sulky too, so well done to those guys taking out race number 1. Hard Rock Shannon, Terry French and his daughter Taylor took out the second. Masterworks for Ross Graham, trained and drove, owned and bred. By Heston Blue Chip. So well done to Roscoe there for winning that one. A $4,500 race. But anyway, we won't go there. It is the middle of Wednesday night, I suppose. And then the Sweps Pace was won by Classy American for Ben Yole. Jack Law in the sulky. So, yep, race 7 coming up very, very shortly, and I'll keep across that as we go to it. I'll give up on watching that. Anyone else got anything else to get involved with, please get involved in the comments and go from there as well. Are you interested in the Eureka? Is it a race that interests you? Don't even worry about the breeding scheme. Are you interested in the way that it actually works, or the way it is going to work is another one. My Kiwi friends too. I don't have a lot of Kiwi friends on tonight, but I do have an official apology from one of those very, very early on in Timmy White. Here he is, of course, with Cam Bray, resident auctioneer for NZB. I haven't seen Cam fire anything in. They called that sheep Paulie. But anyway, Timmy is on his sick bed, so he could not join me tonight. But he sent me an official apology, so which I really appreciate. So he's gone to bed early. The Kiwis have caught back up. So it's back to a Tuesday, which is 2 hours, is the 2 hours difference. I'm all over the shot tonight, and I don't mean to be. I'm trying to get across everything and make sure I've got everything else going there. But please feel free to get involved. If anyone knows me, wants to send a message in any way, they know how to do that, so that'll be fine. What was I going to say? The Victorian SDA. So to get a free service fee to Honest Street, don't forget, $50 will buy you a ticket, one of 100 tickets in the raffle for the Vic Trotters, so the VSTA. That is their website on screen there, victrotters.com. The VSTA have a raffle again going to be conducted this year at Redwood Day. Redwood Day is the 30th of October, so end of the month. It'll be the last day that I will be here in Australia, and then I'm going to head over to New Zealand for 12 days, covering the New Zealand Cup, Kaikoura, and a lot of other things, but Campbell's Comments will still be running, and so will On Loose Line, so please don't worry about that. It'll be on the Wednesday. We'll just have to go early for 2 of those nights, and it'll be a bit of fun. We'll get a bit of Kiwi content. Probably won't be able to interact as much, but we will see how we go, but that's what we try to do with that. Stephen McGrath, hello to you, Stephen, as well. Don't forget the safety specialist, Darren Aiken, 0400 309 902 for all your apparel and clothing. I feel bad all the time because I never have I had his shirt on for the All Trotting Show, so go and have a look at the fine, beautiful work they do there on the All Trotting Show as well. Interesting little thing on the handicapping there for people to have a think about, and everyone's big on the 2-year-olds and how the handicapping works. I noticed last week an interesting little thing. 4 2-year-olds won against the older horses. Rumble Stride and Captain's Knock, each horse actually by Captain Treacherous, won at Wagga last Friday, beating the older horses. Both these did. Anthony Portelli, hello to you, Anthony. Erupt Stride won a heat of the Northern Region Championship at Swan Hill, and Rocking with Sierra beat the older trotters at Geelong on the Friday. So it's just an interesting thing this time of year. Troy Harley's watching. Troy, we gave the greyhounds good run earlier on. This time of year it's very interesting. Everyone about the handicapping and how it works. Yet there was 4 2-year-olds beat the open class horses last week. So I know it doesn't mean a lot, but it's just one of those anomalies that people come up there. I have a bugbear. Why aren't all trial video replays available for club trial meetings? That comes back to the individual clubs. I'm sorry there, Dot. But yeah, they should be. They definitely should be up there, and they're encouraged to get them up. But yeah, it is a bugbear of mine as well. So yeah, so it won again. So Erupt Stride actually has won 2. I noticed in Mildura meeting the last 4 races were called off, but Erupt Stride has actually won 2 heats of the Northern Regional Championship too. So Bacchus Marsh don't. That's disappointing because they have quite a lot of trials at Bacchus Marsh as well. I got into trouble yesterday because I didn't and couldn't. It was a little bit tricky. I couldn't actually get the runarounds done at Melton. So it is a bit of a tricky. This day and age, there's no reason they can't. Cameras aren't that expensive, so I'm not sure why. But Yeah, it is definitely a little bit of a bugbear that I can totally agree with. There for you, Dot. There is no excuse for it. It's very, very simple to do nowadays, and I would imagine that it'll be streamlined a little bit more in the near future. So, but they should be, because as I said, they have a lot of meetings and go from there. I'm just reading through the stewards' reports. Yep, it was just due to the rain. They had to cancel the last 4 races. So the last 4 races at Mildura last night there were cancelled due to the weather, which is unfortunate for everyone involved, especially like a lot of the young drivers and trainers. It's a long way to go. Laurie Masia, he's from up there. So, yeah. HRV need to look into it. Bacchus Marsh probably need to look into it more than anything, actually, Dot, because, it's pretty important that they have those up for the punters. And it's interesting because there's quite a few punters go to Bacchus Marsh. So, not sure on that one. Woodland Stud, Bettor's Delight, averaged 200,000 at the recent sales there in Lexington, the select sales. Couple of funny things there. On social media, mentioned the other day about the way which Australians could present their horses in the manner in which they do over there in America for the Lexington sales. People have got to realise 2 things. One, this is a select sale, so a lot of those horses were the select ones, so the ones that were first up. They were picked basically to go and be on there. So that is number one. So they were selected out of 100. They have a much bigger breeding stock, so they have a lot more horses there. But the biggest kicker is once January comes, those horses are 2-year-olds, and I think a lot of people probably need to be aware of that they are a lot older than what the yearlings are when we sell these horses. So it is very, very strange. Joe Pace is right. Why all states have their twist on the NR grading, and it makes it a little bit frustrating for a lot of people to understand it. And I believe when you go to Wagga, you get 2 races back. Hence the reason. So not only do they race on a Friday for more money, and I will highlight that again very, very shortly, but they also go back a couple of grades. So I didn't know that until just the other day. Someone told me that one the other day. So, which makes it very appealing to be going across to Wagga. You're racing for $10,000, plus you get a couple extra wins up your sleeve. So I'd like to get the answer to that one myself, Joe. But I know my friend Greg Gangle, he's getting plenty of horses rocking up to Wagga week in, week out. So which is interesting. Highlights from last week. Anyone online, any of your highlights as well? As I said, get involved. Races you saw, things you saw. Don't be scared to get involved with that one as well. I did notice one thing. The Stride horses, and like I said there before, Erupt Stride and Rumble Stride, but had a huge week for winners. So he puts a lot of money in, Emilio does, and Mary. So good luck to him. But geez, they seem to figure a lot in a lot of their wins going forward, which was really cool for them. It's a little bit hard to do. I was actually going to go through and do it a little bit differently, but I can't do that. But they've got big fields again in Wagga. There's no worries there. I will go, I think it's this one. Yep. So we've just got the fields up there as well. But just trying to see if there's a lot of Victorians going. I know that's at Ballarat, so I'd imagine there'd be a few people sneaking across from Shepparton. But they do change it up from time to time. I haven't seen too many there so far. Alan Bartley, Dave Moran's going back with Viking. They went there a couple of weeks ago. Just trying to see who else. Greg Fleming. Of course, Dave Moran is now working for Greg Fleming. So they look like they're the only ones that are sneaking across. They've got another one in. Let's Go Bro is in there. Greg Fleming with 3 in there. He's got a big hand. He's taken a full team across there. He saw the $10,000. Geordie Chibnall's going across for a drive. Connor Crook, they're based in Shepparton, so they're going across as well. Dave Moran, they've got, between the pair of them, they've got a huge hand of horses going in there. Connor's got 2 in as well. And Daylight Dan, they're in race number 9. So, yep, they definitely get big fields. But I do know the 3-year-olds get a good drop back, which I did not know about. And there is the Campbell's Comments pace. Greg Fleming, you better win that race. You've got three in there, so yeah, I'll put some pressure on you. But I said it last week, I'll say it again this week. Thank you so much to all the participants when they, all the clubs who do that. Horsham did it for me last week, and also then, as I said, this week they've done that plus the Bendigo Greyhound. So it's very much appreciated, and I'll really do it. I was out at Bendigo earlier today, and I caught up with Charlton and Daniel Hibbard before he called a very wet and soggy night. We also caught up with Eric Hendricks, and it's great to have. They got the what are we going to call it? We're going to call it the veterans. We're not allowed to call it the legends anymore because of the legends races. But I caught up with Eric Hendricks just in relation to that and the fact that it's going to be back on. So I'll throw to Eric and I'll be back very shortly. On Loose Lines here, and the rubbish you have to listen to behind the scenes, and I won't edit that part out, Tim, so it's okay. Eric Hendricks joins me here at Lord's Raceway. Hello, Eric.
Thank you, Paul. Nice to see you again.
Been a while since we've done one of these, actually.
Yes, you are stepping up in the media career now, so we don't see you that often anymore.
Thank you very much. No need to hang cheek. Mate, we're going to talk about the veteran drivers, and that's the main reason I've got you on, because it's coming back, and I'm excited about it. Unfortunately, I won't be here, but very, very excited about it. But firstly, how good does this bar look behind us? Unbelievable.
Yeah, no, it is fantastic. My right hand, Tim, and the boys, Ben and Dale, the tradies, they've done an amazing job. Yeah, we're wrapped how it's coming along, and looking forward to opening the bar at the end of the month, hopefully, if everything goes to plan. We'll sort of relaunch the venue and have a totally new look, and yeah, hopefully that'll lead to a lot more functions moving forward outside of racing, not just racing functions.
And that's the key part. The other bar, anyone wondering, was a very long, skinny one. It was probably a little bit dark too in certain spots, and wasn't inviting. This is modernised. I noticed Tim's got his hand in over there. We've got a big coffee area too by the look, so there's got a bit of Tim about that.
No, well, it's just the layout's going to be much more user-friendly. Coffee station down the far end. Drinks obviously in the middle. We're going to have a sports bar area on the right-hand side here with a few big TVs and some lounges there for the girls. A bit of a soft sort of ladies space on the side there. So just across the board, it's going to be a lot more user-friendly, the space up here. Modernising it
and being attractive, as you said, to get in functions and that, plus the decking down the front, which I will hopefully get a bit of a video and quickly overlay that over the top. But that's exciting because that is something very different that has been missing, like an outside area that's, you know, modernised again, if you like it.
Yeah, no, we had the big grandstand with a lot of seating and it wasn't really getting used. So, the idea to put a decking in there and give us opportunity once again to put functions and groups on there up to, we're guessing around 70 sort of people or so, should be unreal, especially coming up, our cups in January, perfect weather for that type of environment.
It is indeed, and Bendigo unfortunately has inclement weather, so it'll make it more appealing to come here. The shed is definitely on the go too for any horse participants that are watching this. The shed is definitely in the pipeworks. We're definitely working on that as well. Yeah,
no, the committee are working really hard at the moment. That's sort of the real missing link. Obviously, we're improving inside and outside. The industry participants, we really want to look after them as well. So, we're in the process of some plans being drafted and that, so that is also heading in the right direction.
Rightio. We're here to, promote what you guys are doing and all the rest, give everyone a wrap. The tradies can keep working. They've all stopped working and taking videos of us. I mean, we're fine. You won't have to worry, guys. Won't take one worry with us at all.
They've heard about your reputation, Paul.
But the veteran drivers race is back. The Oxley Feed Mills veteran drivers race is back after enforced layoff through to the COVID times, mate.
Yeah, a couple of years off for COVID, and gave the boys, Jared and Mark out at Oxley, a call and said, we're being given the green light to go ahead again in November, November the 4th, Friday night. And they were more than happy to get back on board. They have been long-term supporters of this event. It's a unique event, and we're excited that we're back up and running.
drivers, you've got the drivers. You're going to rattle them off for me because it's a lot easier you doing that than me trying to work it out, so it's fine.
No, that's all right. So we're inviting back, and they have gone around a couple of times, but they we'd like to call them legends, but I think Harness Racing Victoria won't
We're not allowed to,
let me use the word legends as yet. But
so what are we going with? Veterans?
we are sticking with veterans, and a few of these boys are having a bit of a chuckle about that now because they are stepping into that category. But Brian Gath, Jimmy O'Sullivan, Noel Shin, Ginger Gleeson, Lance Justice, Jeff Webster, Mark Hayes, Glenn Conroy, Graham Whittle and Deborah Wicks Moss will be invited this year round.
And they've all accepted?
Yeah, I've personally chatted to everyone. We've got the thumbs up. A few of them are pretty excited. Actually, they enjoyed this concept and this race.
Yeah, and it's very well received. And sponsors is what Campbell's Commons about. Anyone that watches it knows there's no mistake why I have certain hats and shirts and jackets and things like that on. And you're no different. You got your arm over it. That's a silly part. But Oxley Feed Mills, they really only sponsor this one part with the club. But don't they get behind it? They have chaff bags of feed. They're here. They're on hand. They talk to the participants. They really get involved with the whole night.
Yeah, no, they've been fantastic in the past. We obviously have a stall sign up there, which is specific to the industry people, but they can't do enough to support the industry trainers with bags of feed as bonus offers and bits and pieces on that race itself. So everyone. It is a unique concept where people do donate their horse for the veterans to drive. That's unique in itself, and for that effort, Oxley do chip in several bags of feed and straw to or chaff to support their efforts in donating a horse, which is brilliant. Yeah,
it is, and it's a lot of fun. Encourage young people to get here as well because these guys love it. They get out and about, they talk, they enjoy the banter as well.
Yeah, and look, just having a bit of a chat to a few of the others, like these are what we would call the legends of our industry. They are.
They've all got a tale to tell.
Yeah, and I just did a bit of a Excel spreadsheet of the last 8 years of the event running and the names that have gone through it, and I think it will be a project of mine, but I'd love to get them all in the room at one time. Some of the stories they'd tell would be unreal, I reckon.
Well, it must have only been the last year of it. They ended up in the winning post room up there, and a few of them stayed for a fair while. They actually thoroughly enjoyed themselves, and I don't reckon it was the most pleasant night actually, but they still didn't care.
Yeah, no, we were. It's going back a couple of years now, but no, we'll invite them to hang around and come up for a drink and something to eat after the race. But ideally, I'd love to get back every participant over the last 8 years and put them in a room and even do some little interviews and chats on the night. Would be the stories they would tell would be crazy.
Unfortunately, I won't be here. I'll be in New Zealand, enjoying the New Zealand hospitality. I would really love it. But I do encourage anyone watching this, thinking about coming to that night. It is one of those nights to come to. Quickly, the club, everything's tracking along nicely. Cup meeting, is it the same as always, that first Saturday night after January?
Yeah,
January, sorry.
Yep, so it's Jan 7th off the top of my head.
Yep.
Saturday night, Garrett's Horse and Hound Pacing Cup, and we will have the Aldebaran Park Maori Mile on that night as well, the Group 1. So should be an absolute ripper. Tickets should probably go on sale in another month and a bit. But I think moving forward, the back end of us will be extremely popular with a few of the events we do have on and work Christmas parties and breakups. So if you're thinking down that space, start giving Tim a call now and get involved because she will fill up quick with this relaunch.
On loose lines, I probably won't put the banner down below, but Timmy's number, I might if I get 5 minutes, but otherwise I'll put the banner down too because I'll put it back as another interview. But Timmy or Eric, give the boys a call for functions. It's going to be beautiful. And that's the thing, Christmas parties and all bright, the fresh paint smell. That was the first thing I said, wasn't it? When I walked up the stairs, I was like, oh, the fresh paint. There's nothing better than that beautiful smell. So it's going to be a great venue. Mate, thank you very much. We'll look forward to it. Well done for getting the veteran drivers back up and going, and thank you very much for giving me 5 minutes, mate.
Thanks, Paul.
We have Eric Hendricks joining me from the Bendigo Harness Racing Club. I can tell you, race 5 is on as we speak, and we've got Mr. Jim Maringle in front, Alex Ashwood. He's not keen to hand up the front. I don't blame him either. He's got a $1.90 favourite in Sweet Revenge for Mario Kellis and James Herbertson. It's wet. It is very, very wet for the participants there. Bendigo's a good track. When the weather is like this, it can be good, but there does get a point of time where it does get a little bit too too wet, and it can get a little bit ugly for all people involved. So a couple of other questions there. Actually, I've turned that one off. We'll put the that back up. Bendigo Club has certainly done a lot of work since they were there. Since you were there last time, Nelly. They have indeed, and of course, a lot of that has come through from the COVID loss of earnings. So government grants and the likes were handed out. So that gives people, a lot of reason why people will be wondering why and why there's no shed. They're definitely working on a shed. They need a shed. The track is as good a track as there is. They not having. They've been able to get these grants for the bar and that for improving amenities to get people back to the track is how a lot of these things work. There's nearly an omen bet in this. Hair raiser, Ross Graham. It's been on for young and old. Sweet Revenge, the short price favourite, is not getting a lot of peace, that's for sure. Glenn Bull, Treacherous Times, is out 4 deep. Eddie's in a little bit of trouble there as well. I know Glenn doesn't wear gloves. He'd be feeling it out there tonight. It is revolting outside. So Rosarito Miss has pulled out. Ryan Duffy. Well, I was going to mention that, and he's going to do it anyway. What a great return to the sulky for Ryan. First drive back at Bendigo, I think it was, and first drive was a winner. And he's nearly going to win the first race I'm going to cover live on Loose Lines, although the $1.90 favourite is a winner because she has fought back, but only just gone down. But Ryan does win that. And the water on the camera there is just unbelievable for the main camera there for the trots. So you can hardly see through it, anyone that's able to watch it. Andrea Gorman's watching from the Charlton Harness Racing Club, as well as Shelley Wicks and a few other people. So good to have yous on. Don't forget to get involved. Follow the favourite foals for Barrow Stocks, great sponsors of Campbell's Comments. Make sure you just go and enter. Just go to all the W's, favouritefoals.com.au. Put the S on the end of the foals, but foals.com.au, and go into the draw to win $3,000 in travel vouchers, which I'm sure everyone would like to have. I was talking to Kylie Blazars earlier on today. Don't forget Horse Lane Bendigo, great supporters of my daughter, who's incidentally out riding a horse in that, which is crazy. And great supporters of her, but also looking after Rita Burnett and a great harness racing person as well. So get in touch with Horseland Bendigo for all of your apparel and that. They don't sponsor me. I'm not bad on looking after the sponsors, that's for sure. Don't forget my friends at NZB Standardbreds. Like I said, I'm getting across there. Looking forward to it. Going to be a lot of fun very shortly getting across to New Zealand. And never been to a New Zealand Cup. I'm sure there'll be some people out there that have. But I've never been lucky enough to get to a New Zealand Cup. The competition, I have done the competition a couple of times for rastatrotters.com.au. Trump Bloodstock, they have their 2-year-old trot and their 2-year-old pace, the Trump. If you breed to any of those stallions that are on screen there in the trot or in the pacing section, you're eligible to be in the Trump 2-year-old trot and the Trump 2-year-old pace. $50,000 race, going to be run at Albion Park final. So just got to breed to any of those stallions there. And you can see there the paces. It's Dancing Louis Freshly Chilled, Cattle Wash, Pet Rock, and Luck Be With You. All frozen semen. It doesn't say about the trotters, but I think just trying to muscle them up is definitely here. And I'm not sure on the rest. I'll be guessing on the rest. The Silver Salver as well, March 26 at Morphettville. So don't forget that one as well. That is sort of all of those things. Yeah, I didn't think I had that one. I had one there and didn't have it. Random sort of show tonight. Sometimes they're big shows, sometimes they're not. It was great to have Joe Pace on. Dave Miles joined me. Eric Hendricks. I've probably had a few extra guests. Michael House, one of my New Zealanders, is just in there. Neville Pangrazio has just tuned in as well. So hello to you, Nev, and to you, Michael House. I'm not sure if there was races on. The Kiwis, I think the Kiwis gone into hibernation because it's snowing. So in New Zealand, Cambrai sent me a photo before, or video before, of it snowing in Christchurch in October, and it's never happened, and it has. So we think we're feeling the weather badly. So are the Kiwis over there. So don't worry one bit about that either. So don't forget, if you're watching this on my YouTube channel, hit like, hit subscribe. The All Trotting Show will be back again next Monday night. Yeah, it will be back. It will be live on YouTube. I'll put it up as a record, but I want to try and build my YouTube page. You're able to go there and watch the Mic'd Up with Milesy or Milesy on mic. It's already up there. It'll go up on Facebook probably tomorrow, but I encourage people to go there and go from there. Tropical here. Michael House is further south, so yeah, I don't think so at all. But yeah, it's very, very trying conditions for everyone involved, I must say. So I think Northern got an indefinite delay. I'm not sure what that is. Ballarat Greyhounds are on as well, so there's lots going on. Emmanuel Portelli, hello to you, Emmanuel. Great harness racing man as well. So haven't seen you have a horse for a while, but good to see you tuning in. Get involved. This is what this show's about. It's random. Whatever happens, happens. We get people commenting in, and their comments can go straight up onto the screen, and I enjoy that. The more comments we get, the more places we fill, if you like, and we can go from there. But yeah, there's plenty going on. But don't forget, Woodlands, of course, celebrating 30 years of world-class breeding, and of course, this weekend they have got the Down by the Seaside Victorian Derby. I had the picture. There was a filly sold out of a Bettor's Delight filly for $420,000 at Lexington the other day. So yeah, Anthony Portelli, been to the New Zealand Cup a couple of years ago. Brilliant day. I'm lucky enough, Anth, I'm going to be there for the whole week. So including, is it show day? I think it is on the Friday. So I'm really, really looking forward to being a part of that. So Manuel and Anthony, they have a horse race every now and then, boys. You don't have one race too often, but it's good to see us on Loose Lines. Don't be strangers. Get involved in the show. It comes on every Wednesday night at 6 o'clock. It's random. Sometimes I'll have a host on with me. Other times I'll be on my own. And I apologise to Joe Pace for cutting him off. But when the wife is ringing and ringing and ringing and we've got a horse racing, you get very, very nervous. Don't forget, he is racing at, what did I say, 8 o'clock. Mac Cheddar in the Sheehan Plumbing. I think he's got a very, very good chance. So hopefully he can get there and get the chockies. I'm going to call it a wrap. I'm going to say thank you to everyone who's got involved. Dave Miles, Joe Pace, Eric Hendricks, Daniel Hibbard, who was watching there before on his way home from Bendigo. I'm sure he's upset about heading home on the safe. Hopefully he's having a safe trip, plus Charlton. Don't forget, we've got plenty coming up with the Bendigo Greyhounds as well in the near future. So I'm Paul Campbell. This is On Loose Lines, the number one talkback show in harness racing, Australia, New Zealand, England, Pakistan and India, I can claim to so as well. So Kari Males is on there. Good night.g, no sheep comments at all. So, but good night to you. And thank you very much, Reece Moore. You're a bit late to the party, guys, but thank you for joining in. Daz Aiken, before I go, right, I was going to go, but because Daz has come in now and he celebrated a birthday the other day, I've got to make sure I put this up for him. The safety specialist, don't forget to get all your apparel. We need a better logo than what we got, Daz, but we'll get to it. 0400 309 902. I might even wear some of these branded clothing for him next week. But good to see you on there, Daz. Hopefully you're going to get down on that knee at some stage very, very soon. But thank you very much to everyone that's been a part of the show. And I will be back next Wednesday night from 6 o'clock on Loose Lines. Please get in, get involved. Let's drive the agenda.